The Indian Coast Guard and the Gujarat ATS busted an attempt to smuggle the drugs into the country. 40 kilograms of heroin worth over 200 crore rupees was seized in this operation. Republic has now learned of the foreign link to the case. Gujarat police says a Nigerian kingpin was behind the entire drug smuggling operation, who is in fact in jail. A Pakistani handler is suspected to be behind the supply of the drugs. We are seeing that essentially a pattern that is emerging, especially in these drug busts in the state of Gujarat. We'll try and go across to my colleague Priyanka Sharma, who's getting us the latest details, exclusive details of the investigation that's being carried out, a joint operation of the Gujarat ATS as well as the Coast Guard. The big breaking news now coming in, Priyanka, is the global link that is emerging. The Nigerian link, that's first that we'll look into, and the other big breaking news that will come in a short while from now. First, if you can just throw light on the Nigerian link.
Well, yes, absolutely, Shaman, as you pointed out, a big win for our forces, a big win for the Gujarat police, as well as they had gathered this intelligence of this nexus that they had been investigating for quite some time. Now, this is another such a drug bust that has been made in a joint operation with the Gujarat ATS and the Indian Coast Guard. Now, off the coast of Jakhau, near the IMBL, we are being told around 40 nautical miles inside. In fact, we had seen that the police officials shared this information of a Pakistani boat that had trespassed, and of course there were 6 Pakistani nationals that had been on board of the boat as well. And in that very extreme weather as well, the Gujarat police and the ICG had gone and intercepted that boat and then interrogated these 6 Pakistani nationals that had been found on board of this boat as well. In fact, they had gotten intel before as well that there was narcotics that was being pushed into the Indian soil once again via the Gujarat port, this time from Jakhau. And before it had reached Jakhau itself, it had been intercepted and the boat had also been checked, after which we had seen that 40 kg of heroin that had also been seized, which is priced about rupees 200 crore in the international market as well. Now, that being said, as you rightly pointed out, this is about a global nexus that is now being uncovered by the Gujarat police with the Gujarat ATS as well, who is also telling us that there are 2 major kingpins. And this is a very worrisome point of this entire drug bust that has been made by the Gujarat police, that there are 2 kingpins inside of the Punjab jails. Now, one in Amritsar, and we are being told that these were the Nigerian nationals who had access to mobile phones. And not only that, they were in constant communication with the major kingpins who had been supplying these drugs. Now, we are also being told about this nexus is that the DGP Ashish Bhatia, in fact, had also clarified on these details that there is one kingpin in Turkey, and there's another Pakistani national who had been supplying these drugs, who had been pushing the heroin into the Indian soil, pushing narcotics in the Indian soil, and this is not the first time that he's done so. Apart from that, there are several other nationalities that have been involved. There are kingpins that are in fact involved from several other countries of the Middle East as well. We're being told that one from Turkey, one from Dubai as well, and all of them had been in communication, in constant communication with these Nigerian nationals via phones inside of the jail as well. So that is an alarming point of the entire investigation that has come to light, and of course the police is going deeper into who really had been the kingpin in trying to supply these narcotics and pushing narco-terrorism into the Indian soil via the Gujarat port.
Well, in fact, Priyanka, we're getting in some more breaking news on this very story. It's on the role of the Pakistani nationals, which is also under the lens. Gujarat police has essentially indicated to Republic TV that the drugs were sent by a Pakistani handler based in Karachi. So some of Pakistani nationals are said to be involved. We're also getting to know that the role of a Turkish national is under the lens, essentially showing you how this is a larger international racket. So that's the latest. 2 more links basically emerging right now as far as from this drug bust. One is that of a Pakistani national, and the other happens to be that of a Turkish national. 2 important links that we're getting to you on. This is exclusive. A story which is only getting bigger by every minute as the investigation progresses. More and more links that are emerging. My colleague Priyanka at the top of the story, getting us full details of what's really happening and why there is a cause of concern at this point in time. In fact, if I can come back to you, Priyanka, the latest details coming in of Pakistani nationals which are under the scanner and the Turkish national, both basically under the scanner. So what is the link that has emerged so far? Anything with regards to how they are part of this entire planning and how the logistical supply was done?
Well, absolutely. This is the primary bust that has been made by the Gujarat ATS based on the intelligence that they had gathered over the last few months, because now they've also shared intel about how there were several drug busts earlier that had been linked to these kingpins who have been found to be inside of the Punjab jails, and also these Pakistani nationals, like you rightly mentioned, one kingpin who was sitting in Karachi who had been supplying these drugs as well, and how they had been connected to earlier drug busts that have been made. So what it essentially tells us is that the modus operandi is even getting more clear with respect to the investigation of the Gujarat police by the Gujarat ATS, who is looking into how the entire heroin in fact is being supplied inside of the Indian soil via the Gujarat port. Now this is a similar modus operandi that they had seen being followed in Mundra drug bust, in the Kandla port drug bust, in the Porbandar drug bust as well. And now just a few weeks ago, I beg your pardon as well, the DRI had also busted another major consignment of heroin from the coast of Gujarat itself. So now all of that modus operandi is seeming to be similar to the earlier cases that had been uncovered by the Gujarat police, then be it in Morbi as well, where there were several members of the Lawrence Bishnoi gang that had found to be linked to these kingpins who have been busted this time in this drug bust as well. So the nexus runs deep, and they are saying that these are different people. There are different, people on the ground that are being used, but there are mainly some very few kingpins who are sitting in the countries like Pakistan, in Iran, in Afghanistan as well, who are pushing these drugs inside of the Indian soil using these Nigerian nationals who are situated in the northern states, especially in Delhi, in Punjab as well. Now, one of the shocking most revelations in this entire investigation was that the entire logistical communication that was being done to push these narcotics was done via mobile phones inside of the Punjab jails, and how they had been in constant communication with the kingpins in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, and in Iran as well, Shaban.
Well, thank you very much, Priyanka, for getting us the latest details. The story that we'll be tracking very closely on other editions of This Is Exclusive will get you the entire picture that is basically emerging as the investigation gains momentum. More and more revelations likely to be made.